Do you have something you would like to talk with us about?
Well, let me answer your question. So you gave a really good example. You said you were on the phone with somebody and they just weren't having what you were talking about. You're like, well, let's talk about blue glass. Let's talk about feathers. Let's talk about birds' wings. And they were like, why? And you're like, because
that's something that we could talk about that you don't have resistance about. And when you offer a vibration about something that you don't have resistance about, the thought will come to the manifestation instantly. You can discover your power, and you can discover it right now if you don't have habitual resistance that's in the mix that's preventing you from the realization of the whole of it. Ooh, really good, huh?
So when you just said that, I wasn't in control. That was you saying that, but that's involuntary, and then everything that I control is voluntary.
So there's a vibration, and Esther is in the same vibrational place that we are, and so she can translate easily the vibration that we are emitting into a thought and then into the words. But most of you are not in the vicinity of the vibration of your own desires. You have desires, but you have doubts about them. You have desires, but you have practiced thoughts. So once you understand that it's not about having it, it's not about needing the manifestation first so that you can feel the certainty. It's about finding the certainty, and then the manifestation follows from that. Once you get the horse before the cart, so to speak, then whatever it is you want can be yours. So it's a matter of controlling your vibrational placement. It's about controlling how you feel by caring about how you feel and being willing to focus into a feeling rather than trying to accomplish a result. That's why we're calling it unconditional. Let's just say, so here's a vibration, and the first sign, recognizable sign of this vibration turning into a reality that you call see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it reality, is a thought which at the same moment that the thought occurs brings an emotion too. So thought, emotion right there. Well, just for a moment, let's call that not a condition. It's a thought and it's an emotion. But it's not a building, it's not a person, it's not a pile of money, it's an emotion. So let's just call it an unconditioned for a moment. Something that you do have control over. You have control over that, which means you've got control over the only thing that matters, because law of attraction and the momentum that means law of attraction is going to carry it all the way home. And it's not just when you get to this final place, it's that every stage along the way is satisfying as the cooperative components all dovetail and merge in support of the stream that you have generated. So we're not ever going to say to you or agree when you say that you are not the complete generator, orchestrator, creator of every single thing that happens to you. Every single thing. Every aspect of it. We're just a cooperative component, as is everything else. But you're running the show.
So
as was pretty obvious when you came on the stage.
Yeah. Well, there's obviously a harmony, because let's say there's...
But you see, that's what law of attraction demands. That's what law of attraction promises. So Esther keeps getting these glimpses, these 4-second, 5-second, 10-second glimpses where she envisions herself and everyone else living unconditionally happily ever after. In other words, unconditionally happy, just happy because that's the vibration I've practiced and because I'm not doing anything right now to mess it up. So unconditionally happy. And then in that absence of resistance, law of attraction causing her to dovetail with anyone who's in the vibrational vicinity, who is the next logical step in the evolution of her and their co-creation. Isn't that nice? Not demanding of anybody, you need to be whatever you need to be forevermore so that I can adjust myself to you. No, I'm adjusting myself to who I really am. I'm making all of my adjustments to my inner being, to my vortex of creation, to my vibrational reality. I'm syncing up with who I really am, to my God force, to my purpose, to my reason for being, to my all that is me-ness. I'm syncing up to that. And as I'm consistently doing that, then cooperative components from all around just dovetail in and out, in and out, in and out to satisfy the harmony points that she or you have established. Yeah. We want to take just a moment here because these are new ideas for some of you. Conceptually, not new, but specifically sort of new. So let's just talk about this just for a moment, and then we'll move forward with what you want to talk about. The turning thoughts to things. This is the topic that we want to talk about because it's why you're here. You came into these physical bodies with the intention of living in physical bodies. You came for physical manifestations. You did. The physical manifestation is the furthest most, leading most creation. And all that is source is right here, focused with you out here on this leading edge. So do not distort it and do not deprive yourself of the fullness of that full manifestation. But don't demand the manifestation before you have an emotional feeling point. Because if you need the manifestation first, then you're short-circuiting the process. But if you have accomplished the vibration of emotion, then it's just natural that the rest will follow. It must be. It is law. Now what?
Wow, good question.
It's the only question. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? How much of all that I've become am I willing to allow myself to experience right here and now? We've had a really good conversation with you, and you helped us to demonstrate the most important thing, that expectation, think about it. Think about these words. I've decided. Think about how that feels. I've decided. Think about this word, determined. I am determined. I'm determined. I've decided. I'm sure. I've decided. I'm determined. I've decided. I'm determined. I'm sure. I know. I'm decided. I'm determined. Think about what that means in terms of your point of attraction. Now, you don't get there just all of a sudden. You practice it until it becomes so familiar, and until these vibrations turn into experiences, until you become more and more and more sure. But it does not take much to come into complete belief about the laws of the universe. It does not take much for you to show yourself that universal forces, the energy that creates worlds, is backing you up and aware of you, and that you are the component with the control. You are the component with all of the control, because you can line up or not, all your choice. Don't you like knowing that? That's why we say you can't get it wrong and you never get it done. But we really, really, really want you to feel how the path of least resistance, Esther's thinking back on some things, and finding herself thinking, well, that could have gone differently, or I should have done that differently. And then she realizes those thoughts are detrimental to her now point of attraction. The better thought is, I took the path of least resistance every step along the way. Every step along the way. Didn't always know what I was doing. Didn't always know why I was doing it. But when you begin to do that deliberately, then what happens is you begin saying, I'm taking the path of most allowance. What does that mean? I'm allowing more of what I want to demonstrate itself to me. Oh, no, not just demonstrate itself to me, because things are demonstrating themselves to you all the time. I'm putting myself in the place of realizing the demonstration. I'm alert to it. I'm awake to it. Right place, right timeness.